The U.S.-China tech rivalry is heating up. What it means for the Trump-Xi summit. April 29, 2026. U.S. and Chinese officials are signaling that next month's summit between President Donald Trump and President Xi Jinping will focus on stabilizing relations between the two powers. While tensions have eased somewhat in areas like trade, developments in artificial intelligence, AI, highlight an intensifying strategic rivalry beneath the surface. The White House recently accused China of conducting large-scale efforts to extract U.S. AI technology. According to American officials in companies such as Anthropic and OpenAI, Chinese firms are allegedly using proxy accounts to submit massive volumes of queries to advanced AI systems, then leveraging the responses to train their own models. China has rejected these claims, calling them a smear against its technological progress. At the same time, Beijing is taking steps to protect its own AI sector. Reports indicate Chinese regulators are preparing rules that would restrict domestic technology companies from accepting U.S. investment without government approval. These measures appear partly motivated by recent cases like Manus, a Chinese AI startup acquired by Meta Platforms for $2 billion. Manus relocated to Singapore to secure funding and distance itself from China, raising concerns in Beijing about the loss of talent and intellectual property. Chinese authorities are reportedly considering penalties against Manus leadership and are likely to tighten oversight of outbound investment and talent flows. Analysts suggest these moves are designed to discourage other firms from de-China-ing themselves and to maintain national control over strategic technologies. Experts also expect stricter enforcement of non-compete agreements and exit controls for professionals in sensitive sectors like AI. China has also been expanding its legal and regulatory toolkit, strengthening sanctions and export controls that can be deployed against foreign companies or individuals. This growing framework adds uncertainty for multinational businesses operating in China, as enforcement can be unpredictable and sometimes applied in unexpected ways. Unlike traditional tit-for-tat retaliation, China has demonstrated a willingness to respond asymmetrically. For example, it restricted exports of rare earth materials last year following U.S. limits on China's access to advanced semiconductor technology. Analysts warn that China could similarly leverage its dominance in other critical supply chains, including biopharmaceuticals, drones, and batteries, if tensions escalate. Despite these underlying frictions, both sides appear motivated to avoid major escalation ahead of the summit. Analysts believe the current push for détente will likely prevent aggressive actions such as new sanctions on Chinese AI firms or adding them to U.S. trade blacklists. However, expectations for concrete outcomes from the meeting remain low, with officials on both sides reportedly frustrated by the lack of substantive preparatory discussions. In Washington, policymakers continue to debate tougher measures against China, including proposed legislation to restrict its access to advanced semiconductor manufacturing equipment. Still, such initiatives face political hurdles and may not advance in the near term, particularly as the Trump administration prioritizes negotiating a broader deal with Beijing. Ultimately, while the summit may temporarily ease tensions, both countries are actively preparing for a more competitive future. Each side is building tools, economic, technological, and regulator, to gain leverage, suggesting that the current period of relative calm may be short-lived. By Barron's story by Reshma Kapadia, April 29, 2026.